Yeah, so the idea of the Final 5 was born, if I believe, in 2008, more or less by coincidence, when the fourth car, I believe it was to be the red car from Milan, caught a fire, which caused some serious delays, also to clean up the oil residue on the track. Then the fastest 3 cars were given really clearance, and the Formula Student Germany organization liked the idea of a finalist, so to say, so much that ever since they have these finals, sometimes 3 cars, and this year there are the last final 5. So Austin, you are downstairs there with the drivers. What kind of preparations can you see there? Can you see any difference in approaches between the team, or are they all very professional and relaxed?
All of the teams look very professional. There's varying degrees of relaxation. Delft has been completely relaxed since I've been down here. ETH Zurich was going over some notes with the driver when I came down there. Sort of finished with that now. The driver's getting in the zone. Everyone else is just sitting, waiting to go. I think everybody's had all day to prepare, and they're looking forward to just getting on track.
Yeah, so it's quite curious to see whether we will find an electric car at the end being on top of the fastest time of the day, or will GFR nick it? That is really the big question for me. GFR, of course, in the combustion class, having won the overall competition for the last 3 years in a row. Both ETH Zurich and Delft, very strong competitors, also in the terms of overall win of the competition. They have won several competitions also here in Germany in the last couple of years. Amberg Weiden in this group is relatively new. They really are up to their game this year. And also the Karlsruhe team, which has been there for a very long time, has really again improved their overall build quality and especially their overall speed this year. So Austin, if you look at the cars a little bit more from up close, what are the biggest differences that you can see?
All of the cars down here are constructed very professionally. Obviously, one of the big differences is Delft has very low-profile Apollo tires. I believe custom developed with Apollo. Maybe you can tell us more about that.
Yeah, I'm here with the Delft car as well. The Apollo company started in the Formula Student competition by supporting the Eindhoven team, actually. The Eindhoven team, however, elected to provide to ask for a 18-inch tire, basically the same form as the much used R25 and LC0 and LC3 even tires from Hoosier that many teams drive on. For example, the Karlsruhe and Oregon State cars. Yeah, Amberg Weiden as well even. However, the Delft team a couple of years later got in touch with Apollo as well, and they asked for smaller tires. This would allow them to have a smaller gear ratio in their inner wheels.
Yeah, it sort of looks like, as Austin described earlier, a Mario go-kart. We also see the ETH Zurich car there with non-Hoosier tires. They're from Continental, I suppose, right, Thijs?
Yeah, that is correct. In this group of 5, there are actually quite a lot of Hoosier tires, but in previous days we have seen many other teams driving on those new Continental tires. And in fact, I believe the entire many teams in the top 10 in Skidpad all were on the new Rain tires from Hoosier. These are, of course, the slick tires we're driving on today. I'm very curious to see what the lap times are going to be, but we already saw yesterday that the lap times from Zurich were very much competitive with all the other cars.
Yeah, regarding the wet pad, you said the top team was driving, I think you're mistaken there a little bit, you said Hoosier, but of course you meant the Continental tires.
I absolutely meant Continental, yep.
Yep. Meanwhile, I hear the car from Oregon State starting. And also T-stalls becoming active. So I think, people, this is all what we're here for. We are going to get some action on track very briefly as GFR approaches the starting line. 3-year reigning champion here on track right now. This is all what we've been waiting for the green flag.
Karlsruhe is getting right in line behind them.
He's getting it. The green flag for GFR. Give him a big cheer. The reigning champions in the combustion class.
Of course, also the fastest team in endurance and autocross last year, and the fastest team in autocross yesterday.
Also on track here, the E-car from Karlsruhe.
Yep, all other teams now also in line. They will join in quick succession.
Yes, next in line is ETH Zurich, car number 33 on the Continental tires. Next in line will be Amberg-Weiden, car number 33. And they're off.
It looks like GFR is just taking out a cone as they go into the halfway point of the lap. Able to keep going, no major problem with that.
And last but not least, last year's Electrics winner, the team from Delft. So this will provide us a very, very good spectacle. So Mickey, do you expect to see a lot of overtaking maneuvers in this top 5?
Well, that's going to be very difficult to answer. I think these cars are so quick and so really matched to each other. It's going to be very difficult to really catch up to one of them. But you never know. One of the electric cars might have to save energy, so you never know what happens during the race.
And the first lap for GFR is the 78.03. Not quite as quick as we've seen. KIT through with a 77.2.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how far down in the 70s we can get.
And ETH Zurich with an 80.04. As a reminder, Erlangen has the quickest first lap of the day with a 76.35. Amberg-Weiden with a 78.16.
Let's see if Delft can match it.
And Delft absolutely obliterates all the other first lap times with a 75.117.
Also significantly faster than the Erlangen time from earlier.
So GFR coming back through the main straight area here again across the start-finish line. Well, also Karlsruhe is looking very quick through the horseshoes. I can see the Zurich team crossing the slalom at this very moment, and also the car from Amberg-Weiden flying around there, but really flying around there in terms of also of acceleration and sheer cornering speed is the team from Delft. So I'm quite curious to see the new times, Austin.
Yeah, OSU is 76.4, followed by KIT, who's even quicker with a 74.74.
Zurich coming through now with a 75.37, so that's almost as fast as the first lap of Delft.
So can Amberg-Weiden match these times?
They were on a 75.5, so on the same level as ETH Zurich, but Delft seems to be getting closer to the others all the time, and they have a 73.3.
So again, in terms of the fastest time in both combustion and electric class, Thijs, what are we looking for? The fastest times in terms of combustion and electric, what are we looking for?
Yep, so both of those times were very fast. There were 72s. For the electrics, it's a 72.69. For combustion, it's a 72.72.
Yeah, so it's very close together now. While GFR approaches here, a little bit of slide there. Very much drama.
So the new time of GFR is a little bit faster. They're still quite a ways off the fastest time of the day for combustions, though. It's a good 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, so in terms of overtaking, I expect the first overtake to happen if Delft approaches Amberg-Weiden. For the rest, there are quite some spacing.
Yeah, Delft is getting closer every second.
So Zurich crossing the line. Thijs, what is it?
It's a 75 flat. Like I was just saying, the fastest time of GFR so far is still a good 2.5 seconds off the fastest time for 3.5 even off the fastest time for combustion today.
So
as Delft crosses the line again, it's a 74.6, excuse me, so a little bit slower than our previous lap.
So all of these cars and all of these drivers really looking clean. Where we saw a little bit more drama in the morning session and also in the afternoon session, these drivers really keep it on rails. So, first car to come in here again, the team from GFR. So GFR coming through in a 75.9, improving the best time and dipping below the 76s, whilst Karlsruhe comes through at the 74, so still a little bit faster than the combustion car. ETH Zurich is next. Can they improve their time even further?
Just visually looking, it looks like the gap between Amberg-Weiden and Delft has begun to stabilize over the past lap and a half. It also does look like Karlsruhe is slowly gaining on GFR.
Yeah, so Zurich dipping below the 75 mark with his 74.6, whilst Amberg-Weiden also dipping below the 75 with his 74, also 0.577.
Delft, however, coming across the line again with another 73, if only barely. They are the only team to have driven under 74 so far in the final 5. However, even they are not yet at the level of the electric car from Munich just now.
Nope, the electric car from Munich was still a little bit faster than what we are seeing now. Unfortunately, it didn't finish, but still it was a very, very fast car, as proven now on track. So, GFR coming around again at the commentary position.
Yeah, GFR coming through with a 76.35 and Karlsruhe with a 74 flat, which is their fastest so far.
The driver from Karlsruhe is really hitting every single apex spot on.
Yeah, it's really impressive to see. Let's see what Zurich can do to match the Delft times.
Previous time was a 74.5. It's 74.23 now. It's their fastest yet.
So Amberg-Weiden crossing the line here.
It's a 76.7 as Delft comes through in a 74.18.
Yes, very good. It seems really that the gap between Delft and Amberg-Weiden is closing a bit. So the blue flag should be coming somewhere in the next couple of rounds. Also the gap between the Karlsruhe and GFR teams are closing. So I expect also maybe even a blue flag already at the overtaking lane before the start finish. But I think maybe they will wait until halfway second round.
Yeah, let's find out. Karlsruhe, Zurich and Delft essentially going exactly as fast as each other at the moment. Amberg a little bit slower in the last lap. They were pretty much up there with the other ones in the lap before. Let's see if they can pick up the speed. However, I think the gap between Delft and Amberg has reduced a little bit.
Yes, and also if the cars are equally fast, so the Delft, Karlsruhe and Zurich cars are quite equally fast, then it really all becomes, the topic becomes cleanliness of the drive, not hitting any cones and really keeping it within the track.
It looks like Amberg-Weiden has been given the blue flag, so they should let Delft by. I don't think either team will lose much time in this transfer position on track.
Yep, as the Karlsruhe team has joined Delft into the 73s club with a 73.666 on their previous lap.
And GFR also being shown the blue flag to let KIT pass, and it's a very timely blue flag as well, so KIT gets past without losing time either.
Yeah, I think KIT lost a little bit more time there than the Delft team lost, and they were stuck for a short, but maybe an important period there.
Yeah, GFR now fighting to stay on the tail of the Karlsruhe car, but it's slowly pulling.
Yeah, I've got to say, it looks like the driver of the GFR car is working much, much harder than the driver of the Karlsruhe car in order to get lap times at a similar rate.
Yeah, so we see the Karlsruhe car coming by sub 75 in a 74.499, whilst the GFR car, of course, because of the blue flag situation, is a little bit slower at 78.996. Next up, ETH Zurich driving in a clean air, so to say, with a 74.693. So it really seems that at least the electric cars have stabilized in terms of times. This is the times that match best their strategy. The cars maybe even are able to go any faster, but these are the times they're aiming for. While Delft pulls here with a 74.131, closely followed by Amberg-Weiden with a 76.555. All cars have about 1.5 to 2 laps to go for the driver change now. So looking back on the track, up first here on the horseshoe section, it is the Karlsruhe team, looking very clean, very flat. followed by the GFR team, which is really bouncing through the first horseshoe here. Really bouncing and also showing a little bit more body roll than the Karlsruhe team. Let's see what ATH Zurich does. It is flat a lot more, maybe due to their super fancy suspension which they have. And now the GFR team is showing the last lap sign. Meanwhile, ETH Zurich, let's see the horseshoe. Wow, that's clean, that's fast, that's on rails.
Karlsruhe with a pretty significant improvement on their best lap, 73.322. I think that makes them the fastest car on track right now. It's better than the fastest lap of Delft. And Zurich now with a 74.06, so they're nearing the 73s as well.
Yep, so here at the commentary position, also the Delft team is being shown the last lap sign, as will the Amberg-Weiden team now. Well, with a little bit of drama, very fast throughout those last section of corners before start-finish.
And as all the cars finish their last lap before the pit stops, I just want to say hello to Cardiff Racing, who's watching on the live stream and has just sent us a tweet. Our friends in Wales, they're always loyal followers of the live stream. So hello, Cardiff Racing, we appreciate your support.
So the first car in the box will be Karlsruhe.
Yep, they have overtaken the GFR car after all, so they're in first for their driver change.
Yeah, coming into the pits now.
Improving their best lap in the last one. It's 73.21 for them.
Whoa, a lot of drama with GFR sliding a bit there to come into the pit. So Zurich still looking very clean.
Perhaps surprisingly, the GFR car on average is actually the slowest car on track right now. A little bit slower than the Amberg car too. Karlsruhe, Zurich and Delft are very evenly matched and lapping around 2 seconds faster than the other two.
A lot of drama for the Delft team in the last horseshoe there. Yeah, and again here a little bit of slip on the rear end. Whilst the last car driving now is Amberg-Weiden, who also to be presented the checkered flag in any moment's notice. So let's turn around and look at the pit box area.
Yeah, down here in the pits, GFR has made a very quick pit stop so far. The second driver is already sitting down in the car, just about strapped in. KIT is not far behind. Scrutineers making checks to all of the cars.
Yeah, so all of these teams are top teams. They have practiced it quite a lot, actually, I expect. Mickey, you have been a driver also with very high stakes in these kind of endurance finals. What is the driver feeling at this moment?
Well, at the moment, there's just no time to feel excited or anything else. It's just getting the job done. You don't have any regard for anything around you. It's just getting the car home and nothing else, and fully concentrated on the job at hand.
Yeah, so maybe Austin, from your point of view, you are closely standing behind the Zurich and Amberg-Weiden team. What can you see?
Yeah, the scrutineers are just making checks, making sure there's nothing wrong with the cars. At the moment, it doesn't seem like there are any unforeseen issues. No funny smells either, which is also a good sign. The drivers are just getting strapped in, the belts are getting tightened, getting briefed on how the car was handling in the first run. And it looks like, yeah, everything's going smoothly for most of the teams.
I hear a single cylinder trying to start.
Yeah, I can see the brake light on for the car from GFR. It's trying to crank the engine.
Yeah, so far it's not turning yet, but let's give him a moment. Single cylinders are a bit reluctant sometimes.
It looks like Karlsruhe is ready to go. It looks like they're going to get off first. Successful pit stop for Karlsruhe. Meanwhile, GFR is still trying to get the engine to crank. So.
And Karlsruhe is off again.
So the starter motor is engaging, but it's just not really being effective at all at the moment for GFR.
So also leaving now is the team from Amberg-Weiden. Delft and Stuttgart taking their time. The Delft car already is on. Zurich is still preparing the driver.
Amberg-Weiden just joined the track as well. The Karlsruhe first driver was within about a half a second of the fastest lap time of the day. Delft is about to join the track as well, waiting for the green flag to be flown.
The car from GFR is still not starting. I think
Delft on their way.
I think I just heard the officials say they've got 45 more seconds in order to get the car started.
So yeah, Oregon State having some difficulties, like the Brooks team earlier this morning, a bit reluctant to start. They started in the very last 5 seconds, so they have plenty of time.
It certainly sounds like the starter motor is still cranking.
T-Sol of AMZ is also burning, and now the cone, as I hear the sound, the cone is away and ETH is also ready to go.
ETH will have to wait for Karlsruhe to pass by. And they're being shown the green flag, and they're on their way, slotting nicely in between Karlsruhe and Amberg Weiden.
It looks like time has run out for GFR.
The main kill is off. Yeah.
Oh no.
They failed to restart at the pit stop, and the endurance is over for GFR. So it looks like they won't get their 4th win in a row here at Formula Student Germany.
So give him a big hand from the grandstands. All the officials here clapping also. GFR, one of the worldwide best teams, unfortunately now not be able to continue.
Meanwhile, Delft coming through with a 73.54 in the first lap of the second driver. It's very fast, quite a bit faster than the Amberg and Karlsruhe times so far.
Yeah, so with a little bit of drama going on in the pit box, of course, because of the GFR car. We're turning our backs again to the racetrack. We see 4 cars left of the final 5, all electric cars, 4-wheel driven, full aero package, and boy, they're fast. So Karlsruhe coming up. Thijs, can you provide us with the times of Karlsruhe?
Yeah, it's a 75.56 for them.
And Zurich also coming up.
And they drive a 75.08. So they're pretty evenly matched, even though, of course, this was the first lap for Zurich. So Karlsruhe's second driver is taking a little bit longer to adapt to the car, it seems, than the second drivers of Delft and Zurich.
So Amberg Weiden coming up.
That is a good improvement, more than 2 seconds. They're now up there with the Karlsruhe pace. So let's see what Delft can do, though, because they're coming through with their blistering time so far. And it's a 72.496. It's the fastest time of the day overall for both electric and combustion in the second lap already of the second driver.
Yes, as always, the Delft team really showing a lot of speed in terms of the drivers. I do believe this is the driver called Tim, right?
I think so, yeah. That being said, Delft will need to pick up the pace, or at least keep this up, because I do think in the overall standings they might be a bit behind some other teams. So I'm sure they're eager for every second they can get here.
Yeah, I think it's not about it's really not about the milliseconds, but the millipoints. It's so close in the overall standings. So I am being pointed out about a Zurich car.
Oh, Zurich is slowing down. They pulled. Oh wow, we think there is a suspension failure at the Zurich car. It's very similar to the thing we saw earlier with the Hawks team from Hamburg, where the rear tire seems to have come off the rim. Yep, it's a rear right tire actually. Delft had to hold back a little bit, but they're across the line again, and it's another 73.74.
Yes, this is quite a sad thing, of course, for Zurich. Let's wait until it's confirmed. This is not a good thing. I can remember from my personal experience, if you're a team member of the team, really at the top there, and you see your car failing, that is not a thing you want to see.
No, Zurich, of course, has always been very much up there. Super competitive. I could almost say they've only won once in the last 5 years, but they were always very much a competitor. Of course, they've won in 2014. The DNF has just been confirmed, unfortunately. Of course, there's not much choice for any of the officials or the team members with one of the tires completely off the rim. It's not completely off, but it's not seated properly anymore. The car is now off, and the driver's getting out of the car.
Well, we've had that drama. Karlsruhe has actually set a very quick time of 74.556, just very slightly behind TU Delft's fastest lap time, and they've backed that up with a 74.88.
Yeah, so if we then start looking at the overall standings in the electric competition, it's all about really between those 3 teams left on track. Unfortunately, also TU Fast, the E-car, did not complete the endurance race.
Yep, the München guys.
So I think also for the Cup, it will be between those three teams here. And I think it will be very close between Karlsruhe and Delft.
Of course, we've also just seen the green team, car 26.
Yeah, I forgot that.
They are definitely a competitor as well, so let's not forget about them. But the three cars on track are definitely in the running for the top places here. Let's see what Karlsruhe can do. They're the first ones to cross the line.
Yeah, I think in terms of overall standings, the Karlsruhe team might be on top. I'm not exactly aware of the standings, but they're doing very, very well all weekend.
They gained great points at, for example, the design and of course the skid pad where they dominated. They just did a very consistent lap time. It's within 2/100ths of a second of their previous lap time.
Yeah, so meanwhile Delft is creeping up to Amberg-Weiden again. I'm sure we will see an overtake again from the Delft team of the Amberg-Weiden team. I'm getting quite anxious, Austin.
Yeah, the tension is really building here. It's going to be close between all of these teams. I know that Karlsruhe...
Delft just improved the best time of the day, guys. It's a 72.14. That means that they're lapping 2.5 seconds faster now than Amberg-Weiden.
Gets a big cheer from the Delft crowd over in the stands. I do know that Karlsruhe finished quite well in the business presentation as well. I believe they finished second.
Yeah, so Delft now really creeping up to Amberg-Weiden in the pendulum corners.
Oh, no blue flags flying yet. Surely that will be the case with the next overtaking lane though, because Delft is coming in fast. Like I said, almost 2.5 seconds faster in the previous lap.
Yeah, I see the marshals getting ready already with the blue flag, so this will cost the Delft team some tenths of seconds, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, they're right in the tail of the Amberg car.
Yeah, of course, also the Amberg-Weiden car is performing very well, so it's also good for them not to let them waste too much time there in the overtaking area. And they're on top and over.
Delft will have lost a little bit. But they're now on a clean lap again, and they can continue on their hunt for a 71-second time, perhaps.
Yeah, so meanwhile in the back at the grandstand area, the Karlsruhe team is passing the so-called pendulum corners, where the transient behavior of the car really is tested, and are coming now around into the infield again. Let's see what they can do here in the horseshoe, another horseshoe, and then the slalom. Boy, that car is really looking clean. I do believe they did a lot of driver training, like the other two teams here. Let's see what they do here in the horseshoe corners. Austin, what can you say of it?
Yeah, the Karlsruhe car really is on rails. It's pinpoint apexes every single time he comes past us. So it must be worked on the car setup throughout the week, and they've got it spot on, I think.
Yeah, they've been very consistent through the last couple of laps. It's a 74 flat now for them.
Yeah, so and also for me as a spectator, in terms of the speed of the electric cars, it gets faster and faster every year. I can remember the night endurance in 2011, which was very scenic with lighted balloons on top of the endurance track.
And torrential rains, I remember.
Yeah, torrential rains. The cars were in general really a lot slower than they are right now. The electric cars really have picked up the pace and are matching, and even faster now than the fastest combustion teams. So that's a very good development on that side.
Well, it's a good development for the electrics. I'm not sure how happy the combustions are with it, but it's very telling that the last 4 cars on track today are all for electrics. Even before GFR dropped out, I do believe that they were actually the slowest of the 5. As Delft just came through with another 72, within 3 seconds of their fastest so far. Let's see if Karlsruhe can answer that. So far, this driver has not been in the 73s, although he's been very close on his previous attempt.
Yeah, in terms of sheer speed, this is really, I think, looking to you, Mickey, this might be one of the most spectacular electric endurances we have seen, if we just consider sheer speed, right?
Yeah, it's just unbelievable what kind of speeds these cars can show on the track. It's unbelievable. It's also the drivers doing a very good job of it. Both Karlsruhe and Delft and Amberg-Weiden, they're really pushing, and it's just very, very nice to see.
Delft actually has pulled open a pretty good gap to the Amberg-Weiden cars to come through again.
Just to point out, Karlsruhe is now on their last lap, and Delft has also just started their final lap. Amberg-Weiden is about to get the same sign. So once they cross the line, all the cars will be on their last lap of the endurance course.
So the last lap of all the 3 cars. Let's bring it home, guys, all of us. So Austin, this is really a bit up to you. The rest of the commentary team getting a bit silent at the moment. So
Yeah, so Carlos Rose just making their way through the horseshoe, about to go over the jump into the slingshot, and now they've just got 2 or 3 more small corners to negotiate before they cross the finish line.
They're completing endurance.
Looks very
the team
clean.
from Karlsruhe, give them a big hand.
And Carlos finishes endurance.
Excellent job.
Massive applause from their big fan section in the stands.
So now we have Delft going through the second horseshoe and the slingshot corner into the fast straight at the backhand. Yes, I do believe they will finish. Give them a big hand, the team from Delft completing their endurance.
In another 73.28 seconds.
So the last car on track with a parade lap, the team from Ambach-Weiden. Wow, and I do think, Austin, that also the team from Ambach-Weiden is finishing their endurance with the last car of the day.
I think the Ambach-Weiden car actually slowed down a little bit towards the end there. They were building up to 78 and 81, but most important part is that they have finished and were very fast, especially in the first parts.
Let's get a big round of applause for the final 3 finishers and everybody else who took part in the Formula Student Germany competition this year.
Yes, and I want to thank a lot all the volunteers on the track today, the so-called red shirts. Give them a big hand from the grandstands for the red shirts, all the volunteers on the track.
And also the white shirts to make sure this event runs off very smoothly without a hitch. So let's get another round of applause for the white shirts.
This one is for the white shirts, a round of applause.
Oh, they even got some air horn. This is great.
Yes, more air horn, please.
Now also the scrutineers in the green shirts.
Yeah, let's not push it, Austin. So everybody involved, of course, deserves this big applause. From us, the commentary team, Austin, Thijs, Mickey, and myself, Steph, we want to thank you a lot for your attention, both live and on the live stream via YouTube. And we're more than happy to see you all next year at the Endurance. So now let's wait for the award finals, or no, the award ceremony, which is being held tonight, to finally determine who will win the cup overall in the C class and also in the electric class. I think it will get close, Austin.
Yes, it's going to be very interesting to see how all the points are tallied up. But yeah, the award ceremony will be at 9 o'clock this evening, followed by the Male party, which we're all looking forward to. So see you there.
Hockenheim out.